During my stay here, I've seen people's lives go from 0 to 100. I've seen people's lives go from totally frustrated with the economy, with the country, and with their lives in general, to living way above the everyday problem of the common man, which is money. Victoria Abubakar Okoroji and the Value Corp team will teach you how to offer value in exchange for money at any level or sphere of your life. So if you're working class, an undergraduate, or even a secondary school student, you're more than eligible. If you're broke, in a tight spot, frustrated at the inability of the country to provide for their youths, or totally want to give up on life, then we have the solution for you. And you can simply join us on this journey by logging on to www.valuecorpglobal.com to get started.
We never knew things like crypto jobs. It was ValueCorp that introduced us to crypto jobs. ValueCorp pushed me personally as a person beyond everything else. ValueCorp pushed me to getting to learn more and being enthusiastic about making money with my hands. It's normal for every Nigerian youth to do the 9 to 5 job, but with ValueCorp, it helps you to see more, to see that there is more to the regular things. The word is ValueCorp helps you to see the extraordinary. It helps you to see beyond now. It helps you to see far. That's what ValueCorp does. And it changed my life as a person. I got to know, okay, fine, there is something I can do with my phone to give me more money, to give me my space as a person. I it was awesome working from my house right there on my bed, and I still make more than the regular Nigerian youth.
Hello, my name is Grace Chimoya, and I'm one of the content creators of ValueCorp. And since I met Victoria in Platform of Grace, that's been a wowing experience. That's been beautiful. That's been from better to better, and you want to experience this. You really do. Okay, so ValueCorp is all about using what you know to make money. We impact you and equip you with necessary knowledge to transfer the knowledge that you know to make money. So in ValueCorp, we are here for your own good, to better you all round.
Hello everyone, my name is Ekeme Zenjo, and I would like to tell you about ValueCorp Global. I first heard about the brand ValueCorp from a friend, and then I got to meet the CEO in church, and that was my first ever contact with the blockchain and the crypto space. And she made things a lot easier. I hear people saying they are trying to learn crypto and all that, but it's hard, it's difficult. I never had the experience. She made it so easy to go from one level, from beginner to intermediate expert in the crypto space. About the ValueCorp classes, I love the fact that the classes are very practical. Like, she tells you what you experience in the real life, and one thing about the classes is that they answer questions and they solve issues. There is almost always a class for any problem I encounter in the space. Like when I get to if there's an issue or something I'm trying to solve, there is almost always a ValueCorp class answering that particular question or trying to get that particular solution fixed. Her crypto job classes are always so educational. Like, one thing I've learned about the ValueCorp Global is that her classes make you sound like an expert. Like, sometimes when I'm in a job interview, sometimes I get to sound like an expert, or simply
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear everyone. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Oh, there we go. Eh?
Kelsey, can you hear me?
I'm coming, please. I'll soon go. I just want my phone to be. Sorry. You guys know we're live, right?
Yeah.
We're
can you hear
live,
me?
so you can turn off your camera if you want.
You guys know we're live, right?
So, you can turn off your camera if you want to.
Yeah,
How's it?
Maviki, can you hear me? I want to be sure everybody can hear me. Can you hear me, Ma?
All right. Um, so let me hand the mic over to our anchor for this evening, Mr. Casfade, Mr.
Yeah,
Emmanuel. It's great to have you this evening to anchor today's event. So let me hand it over to you. Take it from there. Welcome everybody to today's session. Just make sure you share the link why we, get started already.
uh, okay. Thank you very much, Ma. I don't know. Can everyone hear me? I want to be sure that I'm being heard. Ca- Can it?
Sure, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. So, good evening, everybody. Yes, this is Valucom Global, and if you're live already, this is Value First Conference 2.0. We are streaming, and we are looking at the topic positioning African talent to access global opportunities. So, I'll try to talk about it a little before we have our guest on board tonight. So, when we talk about positioning African talents to access global opportunities, the world has just made it look like that Africans are backward, and it's just that we are like, if I say 10 steps, I don't know if 10 steps, we're 10 steps behind with the current trends of the world. So I think that is part of the things Valuco Global is trying to bridge, that we can measure up to the standard of the current happenings especially in the technology world, and and the career world too. So we'll be looking at a very sensitive topic, uh, which is we'll be looking at a very sensitive topic, which is you know the career and financial opportunities in the AI. The AI has been trending, the AI for about a couple of months, if not up to a year. Okay, the AI has been the trend, and they have the ChatGPT, you have the Snapchat AI, you have the many companies are coming up and launching their own AI. But and okay, AI means artificial intelligence. Let me not use slogan too much. So many of these things, and currently we can now find that AI thing in the current things we are doing. So we'll be looking at a very sensitive topic on how those the AI can help enhance our careers. So Maviki, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am. I am.
Okay, okay. If since you're ready for us, um, I would like you to do a little intro about, okay, because when things are trending, people tend to not know the actual meaning of those things. If you can explain what the whole AI thing is all about, the AI trend, how did it come to be? How did it just suddenly started trending of recent? And it's like everybody is paying attention to it. So can you just give us a little background story about the whole AI trend?
All right. I hope you guys can hear me. Soon as liberty flag, just confirm with your chat comment session, chat that you can hear me. Okay, can anybody confirm that you can hear me, please? All right. All right. Thank you very much. So, before I introduce myself, I would like for this session for anchoring this session with us. So my name is Victoria Obaka Okoroji, and founder and CEO of Valicop Global. So, before I go ahead to talk about please just make sure you share this link everywhere, your status, invite your friends. Yesterday was super duper amazing, and I brought this evening, of course, it's cracking. Okay. All right, just a sec. Let me. So is this still cracking? Okay, please, Casper, please, can you just like do a little bit of introduction? Let me switch devices.
Okay, sure. That's no problem. Yeah, so while our speaker gets to set up, rectify the technical issues. So yeah, so she is Mrs. Victoria Ubaka Okoroji, and apart from being the CEO of Falicom Global, she is my boss and my madam. So and like I was saying earlier, the whole AI thing has been trending. I think the one that broke the camel's back was the open AI ChatGPT. ChatGPT was everywhere. In fact, people in the crypto space, you see the people are launching many tokens, adding AI to it. See, so there were many use cases of the AI technology. So this is a section you should not miss because like I said earlier, we're talking about a very sensitive and important topic because this topic will open up a whole lot of things for us so that we don't just maybe uh, uh, hear things we don't understand or just jump on trends and we don't really know how to use them because the AI thing, it's a very big opportunity. So many people see it as a trend. I know some people what they do with AI is I think Snapchat released their own AI bot. I think WhatsApp released their own AI bot. And one way people do with it is like texting, trying to engage the AI into conversation and killing boredom. But there's actually a lot more that you can do with this AI, and it's as regards to your career, like your career, your skill, what you're trying to do, because you can find this AI thing in different fields. So I'm just trying to, whet your appetite so that once our speaker starts speaking to us, you will know that you have a lot to learn and you have a lot of advantages to gain from knowing how to apply this different AI tools or bots. So, Ma, are you ready for us?
Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. I think is it better now?
Yeah, I guess so. I think I can hear you clearly now.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for holding the fort. Why Nigerian network wanted to embarrass me? Okay.
It's fine.
So this evening we're going to be having like great sessions and on artificial intelligence and also financial literacy. Right. Don't worry, we'll talk about that one later. So let me see the comment section. How many of us have heard about at AI? I want us this. I want this to be an interactive session. So use the comment section. I can see. I'll be able to see your comment. So tell me what you feel about AI. Tell me, what comes to your mind when you see AI and all of that stuff. Just tell me. Share with me. Let's talk. Let's talk. Because the reason of the plan for this evening is for you to be able to see that even AI is for you and there are opportunities for you too in AI. And what kind of opportunities can you access in AI as an African? Because it seems like all this big stuff is for like other continents and not for Africans. But we are Africa and we have so much value to bring to the table. So what questions do you have about AI? What challenges do you have about AI? Do you know that it's something that you can leverage, right? So let me hear. Okay, Oluwatomi Singh said, I've heard about it. Okay, who else? Who else have something to share? As you're sharing your own, no, make sure you're dropping this link on your status. If all of us share this link on our status, at least we'll have more people here. All right. You can afford for your friends to miss this, really. Yesterday was valuable, super valuable and impactful. So um who else have heard about AI? Just drop your comments, drop your comments, drop your comments. I'm waiting. All right, when you drop your comments, let me make an introduction about myself and about Valley Corp before I dive right into artificial intelligence. So, who am I and who is Valley Corp? So, many persons have asked me questions like, Valley Corp Global, what do we do? Why is this conference holding? Stuff. So, if you're looking for a job, if you graduate an undergraduate, or you're done with NYC, you've served your country, you're still serving, you've not got for service yet. Valuecop is the place that bridges the gap between the school you went to and the opportunities you're looking for. Now, if you've noticed, the 4 years you spend in school is not sufficient for us. It's not enough for us like come out and know what to do in the job market. We lack job readiness in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. We lack job readiness. That is why a graduate cannot even write a CV or a resume. And you can't blame them because they have not been taught. You can't blame people for what they've not been taught. If you've taught people stuff, then you can say, okay, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? So many people are looking for jobs. And in fact, when they go on the internet to search, it seems like those things are not like very practical. It seems like this whole thing is very tough for you to do and all of that. But Valuecop is here to bridge that gap, to prepare you and present you before opportunities. There are opportunities, but most of the times we are not prepared for them. Most of the times
So
we're
for
not ready for them. Most of the times we are not like when we get to the interview, we don't know what to answer during interviews. We don't even know how to write our CV. I've seen some very crazy CV. I've seen some very terrible CVs. And I'm like, what is going on here? But then at the same time, I can't blame them because they don't even know what an actual CV should look like. And they don't even know what exactly to do to present them before opportunities, right? They don't even know what is job readiness is exactly.
rapper
They
here.
don't even know that even if you
Where
don't have an experience,
some
you can still get a job, but they don't know how. So that's what we are doing at Valley Corp. We have different courses on our website, but valleycorpglobal.com. If you go to our website, you will see different courses that we have that will help you prepare. Most importantly, get those jobs in the crypto space. What we teach you work. I was so happy yesterday when I saw all the speakers we are talking about different things that we teach at Valley Corp, different things that we emphasize at Valley Corp. They were sharing it, and I'm like, I was really, really happy because it means that these things work. The question is, how many of it have you applied? How many times have you applied them? And if it's not working, the question you should always ask yourself is why and how. These two questions are very important when it comes to opportunities. So if you're looking for a place where you can learn how you can make money online, I mean, the legit way, the real way. This is not all those hype you're seeing all around. The way we relate with you as a beginner. In the crypto space, we know that several people who doesn't even understand what the crypto space is. All they know about crypto is buy and sell, pump and dump, basic stuff. But there are careers here, and we learned it yesterday. So in Valley Corp, you will learn how to get a crypto job. All those things that you saw yesterday, we have a challenge that you can get involved with. A 45 days challenge. I already told my community you should get on board that challenge, because we're going to start in it after this conference. I'm going to track you, check you, follow you up. You're going to share, make sure that everything is ready so that by 45 days you should have a testimonial to share. I'm interested in your testimonial more than even you is interested in it. So if you're ready to be consistent for 45 days, if you're ready to push yourself, to show up every day, you need to be active and involved and find out in the group what you need to do in order to be part of it. It's actually very free for all our premium members. And then if you're not a premium member, just come to my DM and I'll tell you what to do. So that's what we do at Valley Corp. We help you, we supercharge you with the skills you need to position you to access global opportunities, especially in emerging technologies like the blockchain, crypto, Web3, and AI. That's what we do. So basically, I'm the pilot. My name is Victoria. I'm the pilot that carries you through the ship, carries you through the space to your favorite destination. And with that, I'll be diving right into AI. So yes, I'm happy that some of you have dropped some things about AI. So I'm going to talk about them based on what you dropped. So someone said, Oluwatomisin said, I feel like AI is now a lucrative business in Nigeria. People make money from it. Okay, Choma said, I've heard about it and also use ChatGPT daily. Yes. I feel like there should be more opportunities in AI, sure. Then this person said, AI is a lucrative business, which Nigeria people used to make money. Now, I want to understand what you mean by make money. Like when you say AI, that just easy to make money. I want to get what you people mean. But let me tell you, artificial intelligence, all those movies you used to watch, like you see some robots, and they are all like they are going about doing stuff for you. They don't have a mind of their own. But whatever you tell them, they do for you. Now, AI looks like it's raining now, but it has been in the background for long, like for years. It's been in the background. In fact, it has been what has been powering some of the search engines that you use today, some of the platforms that you use today. AI has empowering all of them. But then, OpenAI, that's the company that created ChatGPT, the site launched ChatGPT, and it brought AI even to much more spotlight. In fact, before ChatGPT came out, there were platforms already like I think Copy.ai, what's that one again? There were quite a number of them that were even simplified. Copy.ai simplified, that we're already doing generative content, whereby you put in a topic, it generates an article for you, it generates a video for you, it makes an image for you. They were already doing those stuff. But ChatGPT changed the game because it was smarter. It was smarter and it was more it was smarter. It could generate much more better responses from it. And ChatGPT gave birth to a career path known as prompt engineering and prompt writing. It's a very lucrative field of study if you're looking to get involved with AI. So AI is for you. In fact, I plan on doing a course. I've already started on our website that will help you be able to get acquainted and familiar with this application, this website. Like one of our speakers here said yesterday, learn to use applications, learn to use apps, because it's going to make your life easy. Imagine if when smartphones came out and you said no, I don't know how to use smartphones. Let me not use smartphones. You're going to be left behind. I mean, you're going to be left in 1991. You're going to be left in 1991, like way before smartphones even came out. right? So as these things are coming out, the question you should always ask yourself is, how do I participate? How do I get involved? How do I even improve? Because as these things are coming out, jobs are coming out too. Ask yourself, will this affect my current job? If it's going to affect my current job, how do I upskill myself in order to position myself for the job? Because when you lose your job, please don't blame your company. It's not really the fault of your company when they say, we don't want to work for you again. It means that they don't find you relevant again for their company. It might hurt you, you will feel bad, but sincerely, nobody owes you anything to pay you money. They only pay you money to get a particular value. If they no longer get that value, they'll say, okay, we don't want you again. Let us go and find someone and give us the value. So that means you need to make yourself relevant. Now, AI is here for us. You need to ask yourself, now that AI can now create content, how do I upskill myself as a writer to still use it? Because AI will not take a content writer's job. But a content writer that knows how to use AI will take over the job from a content writer that does not know how to. Do you understand? There are several ways, hundreds of ways that AI can make a writer's work easier, faster, and better. I'm telling you to take this thing from me. So, and then we have AI. Some people are like, can we AI take a photographer's job? I'm like, AI will not come and snap wedding pictures now, or snap burial pictures. No, now. It will do that. But of course, it's making pictures already better. It's capable making pictures come out like studio pictures, optimizing pictures even better. But so everybody still have their roles. So you should always ask yourself, how can I position myself so that these things becomes a tool I can use to position my skills better and make more money? Whenever you're better at something, it means that you have placed yourself at an advantage over people who are still learning, who doesn't even know how to do that. So at this point, let me not go on and on stuff. Let me leave my anchor to ask me another question. Thank you. I hope you got
Yeah,
value from that.
yeah. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. You actually threw a whole lot of light to what the whole AI thing is all about. Even myself, I'm getting value. So in fact, I'm the first person getting value here. Then others follow suit. So yeah, you talked about different applications of AI. Different thing you can use AI to do. Like you talked about photography, you talked about content writing, you talked about editing image. You talked about generating a whole lot of things. So assuming someone that has a career now, okay, assuming I am a content writer or I am a designer, what are the effective methods I can use this AI? How do I go about applying the AI to my career? How do I go about it? Like learning about the AI and using them or applying them in my career. I would really appreciate if you can throw more light on that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Okay, how do you use I'm going to explain that, AI generated content and yes, Udora, Chidima, I'm going to also explain that. Also how to turn AI to a consistent stream of income. Okay, I'm going to explain that. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me talk about the AI generated content and stuff. When something is new, it will be tackled and attacked, right? When you launch something, we have different kinds of people in the world. And what makes a community or an environment or a country or a nation a place where people can live is because of the laws and principles guiding that place. So when AI came out with so many capacities and capabilities and things that it could do, people started talking about regulation. People started talking about plagiarism. Because how does this AI generate content? You feed it data. This is another career path. It's called prompt writers. Prompt writers can train an AI to respond in a particular way. Prompt engineers they can train an AI. Then we have data scientists too. They also have a place in. I'm going to talk about careers that you can do in the AI. That's one way to make money. Careers is one way to make money from the AI space. So this there are regulations coming out. People are thinking, how will this affect our current this thing? What does it mean? What does the rules mean? Which area will it breach? Are there sensitive information and stuff? So people believe that when you put generative content, because it's called generative AI, there's a generative AI whereby you put a prompt in and it generates content for you based on what has already been fed to it. But then you can also generate unique content from an AI based on your prompts too. So people are concerned about generative content, about AI content, because of people are not being very, very smart with it. For example, AI like ChatGPT now has been trained with lots of information all over, like across the world. People are sitting down in front of laptops training this AI with lots of information. In fact, ChatGPT free, the free version, have information up until 2021. So whatever you ask it after 2021, it will tell you that it doesn't have information about it. Then AI like Microsoft Bing and Google Bard. Google has their own now. Google Bard, that's bard.google.com. We have Microsoft Bing. If you download their browser, you will see it. If you also download it has a specific chat. You will also see it. If you download Bing, download Microsoft Edge, you will also see it. So now Microsoft Edge has direct access to the internet. So most likely it's getting content for you straight off from the internet based on the question you ask it. ChatGPT is giving information based on the question that have been fed to it before 2021. And Google Bard is giving you information straight from the internet too. So why are people concerned about these things? It's because it's not giving you something out of the blues. It's giving you something that someone have already given. But then, here's the thing. The question I used to ask is, before even generative AI like ChatGPT came out, we used to do our research. We used to do our research with internet. Before you can write an article, you browse about the article and then you now start writing, right? So, but this time around, generative AI like ChatGPT has made the work easier in the sense that you can do so many things with it. For example, you can paraphrase the content. You can make a content sound. You can make it give you a content that sound like yours. Let me tell you, if you want AI to generate a content that sound like you, what you should do is to go and get your previous articles that you've written before. When you bring your previous article that you've written before, you will tell the AI, "Hi, I'm going to give you an article now. I want you to memorize the tone of that article. When you memorize it, the next article I will send to you, I want to use that same tone and reply me and write on this particular topic for me." When you do that, you copy your previous article and then you send in. And then when you send it in, the ChatGPT will respond back and tell you, okay, we acknowledge it. Then the one that comes subsequently, it will now rewrite whatever it is that you want it to rewrite into your own tone. These things are tools for us to maximize, right? So people don't like AI generated content because most persons just copy and paste what they get from it. Copy and paste. These things are assistants. They're supposed to assist your work and not take over from you, right? Because if you post what a generative AI gives to you immediately, sometimes it doesn't really gel, right? That human feel is not exactly there. So it's supposed to save you time and cut down time for you. So I don't know if I'm answering some of our questions, right? Someone said, so this client don't want it. But trust me, there's a way you can get so good with AI that you can still write those content and it's come out really well. So if you're using a platform like Bard and Microsoft Bing, they will help you access information faster. This is what Microsoft Bing does for you is that when you go to search engine and you type, let me take for example now, you type let me say which topic will I use now? Let me type SEO. You type SEO. Now, the search engine is going to bring out every content on search engine that is on SEO, that's search engine optimization, right? And you have to now sieve out the rubbish, sieve out the good ones, and all of those stuff. But with Microsoft Bing, you can easily streamline what results you get and narrow it down. So you don't have to spend tons of time sieving through pages of search in order to get your results. So at the end of the day, using AI, is dependent on your prompts. Is largely dependent on your prompts. All right. So I don't know if I'll be able to address that question. And I sort of deviated. I was answering the questions in chat here. I'm going to talk about the stream of income and all of that. So, or should I go ahead? All right. Let me go ahead. It seems like my anchor have all right. Network has been super amazing today. I don't even know what's happening. But regardless, yes, Fate to be, yes, exactly. There are websites. In fact, if you browse it, just check for AI. If you browse it, you find lots of them. You find lots of them that can check if your content is AI generated. That's what they use. I think there's one there's a browser, what do they call that extension? There's so many of them that can detect. Just type AI content detector. Type AI content detector on your search engine, and you see quite a number of them. They use it to check if your content was AI generated. But now it's not all places that actually bother about this stuff. Why some places they bother about this stuff, and in a way, I can understand with them, right? So, um, like I said, the tech is really, really new. Most places are not going to accept it. Most of the places are fighting it. They're fighting it on all grounds, right? But just like every other thing, it's like a crypto today, blockchain. There's still some people who are still not very comfortable with it. They feel like it's going to facilitate a lot of crime. But then I always say crime was existing before even blockchain came into the picture. So it doesn't really change much. It just really means that we need to find a way to now address crimes that comes with the crypto space. So same is like AI is impacting so many stuff, and many people are uncomfortable, which is quite understandable. Very, very understandable. So then so what about careers and how to make money with it and all of that? There's one pattern I always teach at Valley Corp when it comes to like making money with your skills. Is when you want to make money with your skills, you are either teaching people how to do it, you are either offering the service, or you have a job in it, you have a career in that thing. So, and that also applies in AI too. There are different career paths for AI, and this is where it is like if you have a computer science degree, this is a part, this is a place too that your degree is going to come in. It's going to form as a foundation. It's as a foundation for you as a person. So, sometimes when you want to apply for a job, they'll tell you like, a degree in this field is preferable, or related fields. And related fields will be data science. People that are into data too, data science, data analytics, and all of that would also have it forms a good background for them to get started in AI. But then they're also like free. If you want to get started, it's a field that if you get into, it's like super cool, super cool. We have roles like prompt writing, like I mentioned earlier, prompt engineering. We have roles like now there are Google has already released a course, a free resource that you can learn from. You can learn these things from machine learning from. So you can reach out to all those resources and then you get started. But is AI a good career to get into? Yes, it's an emerging technology, and usually if you're early enough, you start cashing out early. But it starts with learning. Do you get? Because sometimes there's not a lot of I don't think there's a lot of this thing that you can transfer to it. Transferable skills are, if you're already in like data, like I mentioned, if you're already like in computer science and all of that, you can transfer your skills into AI. So I mentioned there are three major ways I always tell my community that you can use to monetize any skill. First of all, if you're very knowledgeable about that skill, you can teach it to someone who doesn't know it, and they'll pay you money for it. You can offer it as a service, whereby you're offering services like somebody comes in and say, okay, can you do this for me? Can you then you do that, and then your career can get a job in these areas that I've mentioned. There's a need for prompt engineers. In fact, if you go to LinkedIn right now, there are over 60 search results for different kinds of AI job roles. So to make money from it, you have to first of all know how they work. You have to know how they work, and then if you're going to build a career in it in order to get a job, because first of all, before you get into making money in anything, make sure that you have the background knowledge of that stuff. There's nothing like there's really nothing like getting a job, getting any kind of job. There's one somebody told me one time, and I was like, you don't do that. Someone came and said, okay, I want a job, and I asked the person, how what kind of job do you want? Person, let's say any job. Any job is no job, really. Any job is no job. There must be a particular skill set that you have. There must be a particular skill set that you have that you are looking forward to getting a job with. So that's that skill that you must present. Now that we're talking about AI, you want to build a career in it. First things first is to find out what are the careers you can build in it. What does it require for you to build a career in those to build those skills, and then you now launching. So you launch into everything that was shared yesterday. All the speakers did well. Everything that was shared yesterday can be applied in helping you position yourself. So if you really want to see now you've done the foundation, you've learned a skill. Maybe you have to like look at my course on our website to really get this part, because I don't know if there's enough time for me to start teaching prompts writing and prompts and all of that. But I would just give a bit of insight. There are lots of like prompt guides online. So before I get to that, anyways, before I get to that, first of all, when you form a foundation first, then you can now get into positioning yourself to get opportunities for that role. This is one way to make money from AI. You teach what you know, you offer services, you build a career in it, you sell digital products in it. You're offering services, you're selling digital products in it. So there's no for example, there was this website I stumbled on. It's like a Fiverr for prompt writers. If you know how to write really good prompts, you'll be paid for it. I mean, I think they were paying like was it like $5, $10, $20 per very good prompts. For these prompts, they train AI, they train AI, and they help these people. They help them to be able to generate results. So if you're really, really good at prompting, so on this, let me answer the question that person is asking: how do you give command to an AI to generate a content that's looking at AI? Everything boils down to using AI to assist your work. This is for David John now. This is to assist your work. Now, you are just using, how will I put it now? You're just using, if you have a title, you can use AI to optimize your title of your article, to make it more SEO-ish. Like, SEO is very important when you're publishing your article. So you can use AI to correct the grammar in your content. You tell the AI to correct the grammar in your content. You tell the AI to correct the grammar. Tell it now, because now we have ChatGPT. Before ChatGPT, before you can have a very good, okay, we had Grammarly. Do you know Grammarly also uses AI? Even though Grammarly is what people use to edit and proofread their work, but Grammarly also uses AI. That's what I'm saying. AI is not. It's not like these people are completely against AI. It's just that people just do copy and paste from AI. You don't do that. You you should have before when you write an article, you should have an outline, and your outline should stem from what people are asking. What would people want to know about this topic? And these days, there are so many tools. Like, I love discovering tools that make my work easy. As I'm a writer myself, I love discovering tools that that can help my work. For example, I stumbled on GigaBrains the other day. GigaBrains is an app. I was going through somebody's article, a newsletter, and the person mentioned GigaBrains, and I was like, okay, let me check this out. When I checked it out, I felt like it was an easy way for you to find out what people are talking about on a particular topic. It searches through Reddit and finds out what people are talking about in a particular topic and arranges it for you. So it helps you to channel your writing towards what people actually need. If you notice these days, value creation is becoming more important. If you're not creating value, people won't really pay attention much. Really, they don't really pay attention much. So, and then you have platforms like AnswerSocrates.com. AnswerSocrates.com too. They'll help you to also find out what questions people are asking on Google. What are they searching about that topic? So if you have all these things lined out, you're using this AI to position, like, how will I put it now? Arrange these things better, format it better, arrange your grammar better, paraphrase. Quillbot is a paraphraser, but then for you to do more with Quillbot, you need to use the premium. But then you can also use ChatGPT to achieve the same thing that Quillbot was doing for you. All you have to do, like, one day I asked ChatGPT, do you know Quillbot? It was like, yes, I know Quillbot. I'm like, okay, I wanted to paraphrase this content like Quillbot will have done it. And he did it for me. Like, it was interesting. I like to play with all this new tech because it's really fun and interesting. And that's so you should like what David said, you should use it to already arrange, what you've worked on. And then even if you generate all your outlines and subtopics and everything, you generated content from them, you should always compare, make sure that that content is accurate, edit, rewrite, and everything, because this is just saving you time. Don't copy and paste. Sit down, rewrite, touch the flow. And then there's a secret also. Don't tell anybody I told you. There's a secret also to generating unique prompts on AI. That secret, I don't know whether it's a secret per se, but it's using context. Always giving it a context. Don't go and say, ask AI, what is the website? I'm just using as an example. Don't just go and say, what's the website? It's going to go and copy verbatim and give you. Remember, it was trained on some data. So you should ask it to assume the role of a content marketer and explain websites to me. Now, how do you know that it's going to give you a different response? Now, you can try it out. First of all, you ask it, what's the website? It's going to give you a response. Then in the next prompt, you ask it, assume the role of a content marketer and explain the website to me. You will see that the response will come out different. Then you come out and say, okay, assume the role of a digital marketer and explain a website to me. The response to will be different. Not like the meaning. The meaning inside will be the same, but the way it will be presented will be different. And then, sometimes you might need to write to different kind of audience, a well mature audience, beginner level, intermediate level. AI can help you rearrange your content to be able to be readable by different kinds of audience. You write an article now, you're done writing your article, but then you want to be able to reach people that are very advanced. Maybe your article is like in the middle or maybe beginner level. You can tell ChatGPT to rewrite that article so that an audience, an advanced level audience will read it. It's going to paraphrase everything and it begins to sound like someone that's in the a PhD level. So these things are enhancers, they are assistants, and not necessarily they don't replace your they shouldn't replace your. So it's all about context. Don't ask it direct questions. In fact, you can even keep on tweaking the responses. You ask, tell it that no, 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 can you make this thing better? I didn't like that. Okay, can you make it sound this way? There are several prompts. In fact, there are several communities on LinkedIn that are always sharing the prompts they've discovered. In a way, I even took a course one time on prompt engineering in order to understand prompts better. Do you get? So at the end of the day, it's assisting your work, and it's assisting your work, and it's not exactly replacing your work. So the way you use AI matters. Context matters. Don't ask direct questions. In fact, you can even ask it to think like a particular role. Okay, I just I'm going for this court case. Okay, I'm not going for a court case for saying. And these are the whatever, 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 whatever. What are the most likely scenarios? You can get responses. Mind you, is an AI. He doesn't have a mind of his own. There's a way you to may even push it. It start agreeing with you. You can even fight with the AI and disagree to the point that AI would decide, okay, I've agreed with you. What you said is right. Stuff. So all I'm saying is there is no one way to there's no one way to work with all these AI. So you can try it out. You can try it out. We have I think I have some guide about for people that are looking for jobs. We have a guide on our website on how to use it to optimize your resume. These whole issues people are having with writing their village name in their resume. I saw a resume one day, a CV one day. I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on? Why you tell us where you're from? Nobody cares about where you're from in your CV, right? Nobody cares whether you're married or you're single in your CV. So things like that. You can optimize your resume with you can optimize your resume with what? With ChatGPT. It can help you fix it and arrange it better, make it a more presentable way. Okay, so I've said a lot. I've said a lot this evening. So I don't know if you guys have questions so that we don't like take a lot of time. And I don't know if my anchor has to have questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. Okay, please, if you have questions, you can drop them on the comment section so that our guest can attend to it, our speaker can attend to it. So, Ma, one more question for you before maybe we'll start entertaining other questions. Okay, so you talked about many things that can help improve, our skills. You talked about how to prompt, and you mentioned things like prompt engineering. I don't know. Can you just throw more light on platforms we can learn about how to actually use this AI? Because uh, platform we can actually use this AI because of it's now like it's not just like the normal thing we know. Many people, because there's a whole lot of things you're saying now that it's actually new because there is a way to prompt, there's a way to interact with the AI. It's like there is an art to it. So are there platform you can recommend that we learn how to do some of these things and it aiding us in our different careers? I don't know if you get my question.
Yes, I got your question. Okay, number one platform I will recommend, of course, I'll recommend ValleyCorp. I recommend ValleyCorp. Just make sure I tidy up that course this month so that you all can
Okay.
discuss. I've been exposed to hundreds of prompts since ChatGPT came out. I've been learning a lot from people online, especially I have these like parties on LinkedIn all they do is literally there's a group on LinkedIn that all this guy does is to discover new prompts that will help you get better results in whatever you're doing, whatever field you're in, and whatever role, whatever work. As a founder, one of the things that you have to do is to wear a lot of caps. Trust me, I know. You have to wear a lot of caps. You have to learn a lot of stuff very fast, really fast. So these are AI platforms and tools are like super assistants. They're like that super assistant PA that founders need. And these groups on LinkedIn, I'm going to make a list of them and share it in our WhatsApp group, and they would help. I think I also have a couple of PDF with prompts that can help you in different things, like whatever you role you're in, and all of that. I have some of them on my phone, different kind of prompts. Remember, these prompts are just like examples. Don't exactly copy and paste per se. You can edit it to suit what you want to get. And the more you use these prompts, the more you're able to do them on your own. We're able to get results. Now, for example, you can tell ChatGPT, for example, to write a content. Maybe I don't want an article, and you want the article to sound funny. You can tell it to write the article to sound funny. Another thing is you can make your content to sound like a particular person. Like I said, you can make it sound like you. I can make it also sound like a particular person. Maybe that person is very good in that field, and you want to make it sound like that. You can also, and then that's one part. And then you can also use it to do differences. You can also use it to do table. If, for example, you want to do a content calendar, and then you tell it if you're someone, like I said, it's an assistant for founders a lot, because you have to wear so many caps, or maybe for content strategies and all of that. You can ask it to tell it about your business. This is what you do. This is what you do. And then you want a content for 30 days in this area to cover, make it a different kind of content that will cover entertaining, informative, engaging, and stuff. It's going to give you different kind of distance. So remember, there are assistants. So I'll share the links to the LinkedIn group. They share a lot of prompts. The more you see those prompts, the more you have an idea how you can prompt the stuff. And then there are platforms like images now. Microsoft has a designer.microsoft.com. You can use designer.microsoft.com to actually do some kind of design. They're not replacing designers, because trust me, they can't still, even at this point, it cannot still exactly achieve how will I put it now? Like this event now, all thanks to our partner. Let me tell you that Caspid is one of our partners, community partners, and he really did an amazing job with our designs. So those designs now, I'm sure that AI would have been able to do those designs for us. But then there's a level to what they can do. They can do for us too. So if you go to designer dots, you can tell it, oh, I want a design to showcase this, and it gives you that. So, and then another way to get better at this prompt is to try and don't be afraid to ask the AI anything. Don't be afraid, just ask it. Sometimes it's going to tell you, I'm just an AI. I don't have enough information on that. It's fine and good. If you change the words or the way you presented it, it's going to give you a better response. So there are different platforms, popular ones, like I've mentioned some. There's even DALL-E. It has Mid Journey. Mid Journey is also for images and all of that. I think most of it is paid. But apart from Mid Journey, there are other like free ones. Remember, these things are like they are assistants. So I'm going to do as many guides as possible. I'll do as many guides as possible and make them available for all of us to do, for all of us to use. You can also use YouTube. YouTube is a very good resource for some of these things. You can ask questions. And then, like I used to say, ask people, I don't know, follow the right people on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very good place to learn stuff for. I mean, so that the algorithm always bring the right people who are always sharing knowledge. Most of the times I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on the hands of people that are sharing stuff. Either they're sharing about the blockchain or they're sharing about AI, something that they learned about AI, how to do this better, how to do that better, and all of those stuff. And I'm just quickly learning from them, sharp, Instagram has its own place too. A couple of persons too that share a few tips on Instagram. But LinkedIn is like the place where people really spend time to explain, to guide you, to show you and stuff how to do this thing. Wow. Okay, so AI is not an app in quotes. AI is artificial intelligence. That is a type of technology, just like the blockchain, right? Just like the blockchain. That means if it's like the foundation for some applications that we use or some tools that we use to generate a particular result. I'm answering the question of somebody here that asked a question. So we have, and make sure that you're downloading the right app, because sometimes when an app becomes popular, people tend to create all manner of fake out there. So you just make sure that the only one that's from the company that made it. And OpenAI just released the Android version just like a couple of weeks ago. The Apple version has been out since, and then their website too has been available. So I don't know if I'll be able to answer that question for from you, Emmanuel.
Yes, yes, my thank you so much. Like you answered the question. Yeah, so thank you for the resources you'll be making available for us to learn and get better. And adding to what you said, like the person I was asking about, okay, is AI an app? How can you get it? Because of the trending thing, because AI is trending and everybody's talking about it. You know, when things are trending, that is when there's a whole lot of scam to it. So be sure that you're actually visiting the particular website of that project or the company website, their official website. You know, you download it from the official website because you might even see clones on Google Play Store, and like, but if you are downloading from their website or if you are getting the links direct from the official website, that will be a very safe measure for you to take. So thank you so much, Ma, for this wonderful section. Like it was really, 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 really insightful, informative, and eye-opening. Yeah, so I don't really know if anybody has any other question, so we can move ahead to what we have tonight because we have another very, very mind-blowing section. You guys are not even just ready for us this night. So, does anybody have any other question? Okay, Ma, please, if you can look through the comment section. Some people are asking about how to dictate the official website and not clones. I don't find trouble.
Okay, so yes. Who asked Dara? Okay, Dara asked the question.
Mm,
Yes, the best way to just find out actually to type the name on Google. Sometimes if you go straight to your app store, you're not going to get the exact app. You're going to see different names. So go to their website and then make sure that if you can find from the website, usually the social media handles are usually like at the footer of the website. So you can easily verify if this is an actual company social media handle. Like from that footer you can find out their social media handle, LinkedIn, Twitter and stuff, so you can tell you, okay, this is really legit. If it's something the company handle, usually you can see if I'm following or be verified or the way the content is presented and stuff. And then if when you're searching and you see plenty results, that should just be help make you to calm down and check first. So go to their website and go to, if possible, download straight up from the website. On the official website, you will see a logo for App Store, Play Store, for Android and for iPhone. For your iPhone and your Mac and all of that. So you just click on it and then it takes you to the store and you are able to download. That's the way you make sure you're not getting clones and all of that. So the trouble has been found. Okay. So any other question, official website, for the ChatGPT like chats.openai.com, that ChatGPT, and just type it on Google, you the author is just going to come up, or I will drop it in their community and you will see them, and we'll take all your questions from there. So thank you so much. Any other question? Any other question? Okay.
Yeah, so thank you very much, guys. Ma, thank you so much, and I believe everybody's question has been answered. So I think we'll be calling this section a wrap, while I will be transferring the mic to my madam, and she'll be taking it over from here. So thank you very much for everyone who stayed around for this section, and like I said, we are just getting started. You will not like to mix. You will not want to miss this next section. So it's going to be very, very, very exciting and insightful. So thank you, everyone, once again, and thank you, founder of Valuco Global, Mrs. Victoria, for the opportunity to anchor this section. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much, Spade. You've really been a great help in everything. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Quickly, we're moving on to the second session, and it's like the final session, final segment for this virtual conference. It's been amazing from yesterday to today. It's been from one high point to the next high point and all of that. And I feel so blessed to have some great people in our midst this evening who have already joined us. We have the likes of Mr. Wisdom, Mr. Roberts, that's the king of the meme kingdom, the kingdom memes kingdom. If that's not like I'm not if no kingdom memes, then that's Mr. Roberts. We have Mr. Charles, the co-founder of Fast, and then we have Mr. Olakunle, the co-founder of Simple Books. Mr. Wisdom too is also a CEO in his own right. So we have founders here, and we have all different kind of founders here. So you're getting value from the top, not top of the food chain. So we'll be kicking off right now. All of you are welcome. Thank you so much for giving us your time this evening. And as we're about to kick off the second session, we'll be talking about second session about financial literacy. Now, I love this topic. And I love the fact that we have these amazing speakers who are going to talk to us on this topic. You know, his Africa, we need financial literacy. Like it's very important, super important. Yesterday we talked about how to get jobs, how to get crypto jobs and all of that. We talked about how to monetize your knowledge. But then if you make all this money and you're not literate enough financially on how to manage it, maybe you know how to make, but you don't know how to multiply, you don't know how to manage, there's problem. People that when people say, oh, I want to be very rich, it's not really easy to be a rich person, no, because when you're wealthy, you have to keep it now demands a lot from you to make sure you maintain that wealth, you build that wealth, you sustain that wealth. There are a lot of principles you have to learn. So many people are not ready in Africa for the wealth they are praying for. It demands structure, it demands a lot of things. So don't talk plenty about it. We want to make money, yes, right? So how do you move from making money to actually managing the money, multiplying the money, all of those? Financial literacy is something that we really need in Africa. And sometimes people are so survival minded, that they miss opportunities because all they're thinking about now, they're in survival mode. We understand it. The economy can be very crazy. Things can be really be tough. And then you don't even know. All you're thinking about is how to eat the next food. But if we're going to really get to that point that we dream of, we have to mentally get out of that survival mode and become really financial literate. So on this note, in order to not take the whole spotlight, let me introduce our speakers one after the other so that they will tell us that their name, what they do, and how they are impacting the society from their very offices. So I'm starting with Mr. Wisdom. Mr. Wisdom, please can you introduce yourself to us? Thank you very much.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Oh,
sir. I can hear you.
okay, okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm really glad to be here. First of all, I would like to appreciate Victoria for the opportunity to speak and also for the opportunity to impact young people uh, across Africa. I really appreciate you for that. And also, I want to appreciate all the speakers that have been speaking right from since yesterday. And those that would speak today, I appreciate you guys for being part of this great uh, thing that Victoria has put together. Okay, my name is Ibise Wisdom. I'm the founder of Market Advance. So for Market Advance, we do OTC, we do we have the Market Advance Training Academy where we train people on blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. We also have the portfolio management of Market Advance, so we manage digital assets for our clients. Then I'm also the founder of GoClean 360. So GoClean 360 is a marketplace for all cleaning services. Okay, it's a digital marketplace for all cleaning services. All right, so we recently launched. So I think that's that. And apart from that, uh, I've been in the crypto space for a while. We've done projects. I've assisted projects, developers, people. In fact, in fact, I've done a whole lot. A whole lot. Before coming into the crypto space, I once worked with ExxonMobil, where I had to resign. And in fact, I'm a young man with so many experiences, experiences both offshores, experiences in tech, and so what have you in business. I'm also into automobiles. Me and my wife, we co-founded Richelis and We Plus Automobiles, where we sell car parts and accessories here in Lagos. So there are so many things I do. I'm also in partnership with Flutterwave, where we help their offline uh, transactions part of the company. And there are a lot of things I do. In fact, so many things I do. So, but for now, I think all I've said is enough. Thank you so much once again for the opportunity, Victoria. I do not take it lightly. I will now give room for other speakers to introduce themselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. ABC, for honoring our invitation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Over to you, Mr. Olakunle, co-founder of Simple Books.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Hi, good evening. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Awesome. Good evening, everybody. So excited to be here today. My name is Olakunle Ajila. I'm a product manager of over 9 years, building technology solutions for small businesses, for commercial banks, both internal for internal use as well as external use. And most recently, I started my own startup called Simple Books, an accounting and business management solution targeted at small businesses. I'm really excited to be here speaking with everybody on the call, and I'm looking forward to being able to add value to each and everyone on the topic of discussion today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olakunle. Thank you. Okay, over to you, Mr. Charles of Fasts.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Can we hear me, please?
Yes, sir, we can.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much, Mrs. Victoria, for this opportunity. Uh, I do not take this for granted. I was in yesterday's session and it was very, very impactful. I was sitting on my home and when they say an engineer should come and give a speech on financial literacy. So I find this very, very humbling. Thank you for finding me worthy and I look forward to actually delivering impactful knowledge this night. So my name is Charles Ademola. I'm the co-founder and head of innovation at Fast. Fast is a mobile payment technology that is actually focused on revolutionizing the current modes of actually making payments in Nigeria and Africa. Our focus is on Africa. Uh, I've been in Europe for the past 5 years, and I think when I saw what's actually obtainable here, uh, in terms of payments and in terms of the flexibility and seamlessness of payment, I think we could replicate same in Africa. Hence the whole idea of fast. I am a software engineer. I've been an AI engineer as well. So when Mrs. Victoria was talking about AI, I could really, really relate to so many of anything she was saying. As a matter of fact, I was able to have some insight before ChatGPT was actually released for public use. I'm a global talent. I've worked with several engineers across the globe, India, Canada, and the United States. I'm currently based in Turkey. What else? Currently, I'm a technology and internet entrepreneur, and the focus is actually to digitize so many industries in Africa, starting with Nigeria. So basically, that is about me, and I look forward to having a very impactful engagement with everyone tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ademola. Thank you. Though your voice was a little bit low, but thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Welcome. Our last speaker for the evening just joined us, and Mr. Femi, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for honoring this invite.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Robert, please, can you introduce yourself to us? And then we'll go with Mr. Femi.
All right, thank you so much. I'm very sure everyone here can hear me. Thank you so much, Madam Victoria, for this amazing privilege to speak to us. Please, is my voice audible enough? I want to be very sure everyone can hear me perfectly. Okay. All right, I assume everyone can hear me.
Yes, sir, we can.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Victoria. It's a great privilege that I do not take for granted. I count it as a great opportunity to speak to people and impact them with knowledge. Yes, my name is Robert Sabimbola Israel, popularly known as Uncle KM, and I'm a digital marketer and a data strategist, and I also am a technopreneur. What we do in Kingdom means what we do is that we use content creation to pass morals and to entertain the Christian community, and we have about combined followership across our 5 platforms. We have about 600,000 followers across different countries. The majority of our audience are in Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and we also penetrate a bit into the Western countries. And we also have KM University, which is a virtual learning
institution where people can exchange courses. You buy courses and you buy books. It is and has been on for like close to 2 years now, and that has been one of the pivotal things that we have been doing in Kingdom Memes. And we also have Ken Penthouse, which is like the fashion industry of Kingdom Memes. So yes, in a nutshell, that is what I do. Thank you very much, and I appreciate every speaker that is here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts. And the last but not the least, okay, the network is kicking him out. Okay, Mr. Femi will introduce himself when he comes back on. So before I'm going to tell us a bit about what we do here before we start. So right about now, make sure you go to your WhatsApp statuses. These days, we will have Telegram status. So you can even post your Telegram status to post your social media. Tell your friends to come and learn how they can be financially literate. These amazing people, they are sharing from their wealth of knowledge. Trust me, they know what they're talking about. They most definitely know what you're going to talk about to us this evening. So share with your friends. Tell them that they cannot afford to miss this thing or this evening. No, they should come and hear it live and direct and ask their questions and get clarity. So he's back with us now. Please, sir, please share with us. Introduce yourself to us and what you do. Thank you, sir. Mr. Femi. So we can't hear you. Please, maybe I think your mic is muted.
Sorry. Sorry, so can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Hello, can you hear me now? Okay, awesome. My name is Femi Tiamiyu, and I'm the first of all, thank you for having me, Mrs. Victoria, and everyone at Valley Corp. Thank you so much. So I'm Femi Tiamiyu. I help people become better, effective, efficient, and productive in their leadership journey. So I propagate the gospel of leadership. I help people become better leaders, using all available means, digital, tech, to make people get grounded in thorough, effective leadership. So basically, that's what I do. Everything I do is encompassed around the subject matter of leadership, leadership in finances, leadership in business, leadership in the family, leadership. And one of our tagline is everything leadership, so everything that has to do with leadership. All right. So thank you for having me, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for availing us with the presence. Thank you, all the speakers. So I'm just going to give a brief about what we do at Valley Corp, and then we'll start. So really so at Valley Corp, what do? We supercharge you with the right skills, job readiness skills that will help you position for the right opportunities, especially in emerging technologies like the blockchain, and right now small into the AI, but mostly the blockchain. So we noticed that there's a gap between people that are in school, graduate, and all of that, and then the actual opportunities. So we help them with job readiness skills that they need to actually access these opportunities, especially in the Web3 space. So that's what we do right here. So without further ado, we're going to get started. So starting with PFEMs. Starting with PFEMs. Can you share with us, financial literacy is something that most persons are not even aware that they need, especially in Africa. Like, we have people who make a lot of like financial decisions that they don't know actually how to like go about, or how they can actually, we have wishes and dreams that want to use money for, but we're not exactly okay. I think I'm going to be shifting this question to Mr. Charles Ademola, why PFMs get back on board with us. So, Mr. Charles, what are the key components of financial literacy that are important for us to apply in our lives? What are the key components of financial literacy? We want to make money, but we need to know the key
All
components of
right.
those.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me clearly now, please? Can you hear me clearly now, please?
Yes, sir, it's better.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me put on the camera. Hi, everyone. All right. So now we're talking about financial literacy, and to me, right, financial literacy is as fundamental as learning how to read and write. And unfortunately, it is actually a skill that is actually lacking in many Nigerians. I think there are a large number of Nigerians here tonight, so by extension to many other Africans. Now, this is actually a very, very important skill to actually know, especially in this particular age where uh there's a lot, actually there's so much more about money, right? And it is going to be a great disservice for anyone not to have any of these skills or have a proper understanding of any of these concepts, right? So the first question is, what is financial literacy? It is actually, in the simplest form of it, it means knowing how to make informed and better decision with different financial concepts. We have financial concepts like budgeting, like savings, like investment, stock, debit card, and credit card. So many, many things. But the kind of landscape we have in Nigeria economically doesn't actually allow a lot of young persons to have this understanding, have this knowledge. So I'll briefly talk about some, why I leave the rest to be talked about by other speakers. I will, because we have a number of youth among us today and young persons like myself, because I'm still a youth as well. So I'm going to actually things on budgeting and investment and why it is actually very, very critical. I'm a Christian, so I start in Jesus' name. I take my cue from what Jesus said in there's a part of the Bible where Jesus Christ says something that who is it that would want to do anything without properly sitting to actually plan for it. So that in sense, Jesus Christ was actually talking about actually budgeting ahead, right? You want to build a house, right? Now, the whole meaning of budgeting, as I have defined here, because I've actually going to do some studies before I come here tonight, it will be very, very dishonoring to be coming to this kind of event without.
Sorry, can you I think your voice is sort of muffled a bit. Like it's, I need to like increase the volume, please. Thank you.
All right, can you hear me now clearly, please? Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, yes.
Can I go ahead now?
Sure, sure.
All right. I'm so sorry about that. I do not know what the problem is, but I'm joining with my phone. I'm very sorry. So like I was saying, I'm actually going to be hinting on two major financial uh literacy concepts that I think that are very, very important and critical for anybody, especially young persons in this generation, to have to be able to make the most of their money, and that is budgeting and investment. And I was given a cue talking about how important budgeting is, such that even Jesus Christ talked about it that who is it that want to build a house without actually sitting back to actually plan for it properly. Now, I put together some things here before during my research, and the whole meaning of budgeting is this, right? An estimation of revenue and expenses over a period of time. When you actually make money as a person, let's say you get an income, what do you do with the money, right? What are the plans before the money comes, and what are the plan while the money is actually in your hand? So many persons are poor today simply because of the lack of this particular knowledge budgeting. Because when you get an income of 100,000 naira, and you immediately start to actually execute it on consumption, then definitely that person is on path to whatever it is, financial mess. So it is very, very important to actually make proper planning even before money comes. By this, you are actually going to be able, you won't actually spend beyond what you are getting, and you actually still be able to have some things to save, right? So budgeting is actually very, very important. uh okay, I will still come back to this. Now, I also would like to talk about investments. Many persons as well do not actually have a critical knowledge of what investment is. So these two things, budgeting and investment, are critically related. Now, investment itself is an asset acquired with the goal of generating income and appreciation. We have a very, very uh, bright generation today where everybody is actually aspiring to be wealthy. But wealth, in most cases, in large contingent of it, comes from investment, right? So, Mrs. Victoria was saying something the other time, and I, I'm going to paraphrase. People just want to do something quickly. Now, you get money. Now, after you have actually budgeted your money, right? What do you do? Do you also invest? How many persons today will say they have an investment portfolio? How many persons today will say they have a savings? How many persons today will say uh, they have a very, very productive budgeting plans, right? So these are actually critical and very, very important financial concepts that one needs to know to be able to make the most out of his or uh, 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 smart decision with their money, right? The whole essence of financial literacy is for you to be able to make smart decisions with your money, while also being able to acquire and get anything you need with it. So we have budgeting, like I've said, we have investment, and lastly, I'm going to be talking about stock. What is stock? Stock simply means partial ownership of an organization or partial ownership of anything of importance. Fractional ownership, right? A unit of stock is known as shares. Now, stocks are very, very important as well for you to be actually be able to uh, uh, achieve that dream of actually becoming wealthy, as many persons actually have today. Now, oftentimes we hear that Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and these persons have this particular network, this particular network. But in most cases, a lot of persons do not actually know what that means in real sense. It is not actually meaning that that is the amount of money they have in their bank accounts. It is actually as a result of investment they have made in stocks of either their own organization or of other organization, right? So are you seeing the connection between investment and stock now, right? So you use your investment to buy assets, right? Assets like stock. Now, there are cases where it can appreciate and there are cases where it can depreciate, when it appreciates, that's when you hear something like somebody's net worth just surge by this social percentage, and when it depreciates, somebody's net worth just depreciated by this social percentage. But all in all, it is actually very, very great to have this to have the understanding of this concept as early as possible, to be able to make better and informed decision with your money. It is so I'm going to wrap it up with this. If I'm given the opportunity to still speak again, I'll hint on some things. It is not every money that come your way that you spend as a person, as a youth, right? It is very, very important for you to know how to budget, how to invest, and know what stock is, right? So uh those are just some brief introduction to what those things are, and I hope to still be able to give some knowledge about this given the chance. Thank you very much, Mark. Everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Demola. You made some quite like impressive comment. Like, someone say talk to me, sir. Like for real. It's something that is very, very common in Africa. We say we want to make a lot of money, but the ones that we have now, what are we doing with it? What are we doing with it? We spend first before we start thinking about we need to invest or there's something. But the money has gone. So please, everybody should just key into this and make note. Like I used to say, don't come and finish attending this thing now and apply what you're learning from here. That level that you want to get to, that level that you're praying about, you've been praying every day about. This knowledge will help you get there. So thank you so much, Mr. Ademola, for sharing those insights with us. Moving on to Mr. Femi. Mr. Femi. Okay. So can you share insights into strategies to address the challenges of poverty and unemployment in African communities? This is something that is how do I put it now? Poverty is one thing that is very associated with Africa. I think even India at the time, but then somehow India is finally brought this out of it. But somehow it's not like we are poor. Like we're not poor in Africa, but somehow we're not just maximizing what we have in this amazing continent that we are in right now. So please, can you share your insight with us? Like, how do we um how do we address all these challenges that brings that puts Nigeria Africans in this particular position? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for having me once again. Please, once again, Mrs. Victoria, can you just nod to be sure that I can be heard everywhere? Just, just give me that nod. Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right, thank you. Okay, so poor. The word poor has been said to mean passing over opportunities repeatedly. So when you don't maximize opportunity, and two things that are very, that is free to all mankind is time and chance. Scripture says time and chance happen to them all, and that chance means opportunity. Though time is equal to all men, but opportunities varies. Certainly people have their own their own moments when certain opportunity comes to them, but it's now left for you to recognize opportunities in this lifetime. All right, so when you don't have a culture of being able to discern opportunities and not being able to maximize them, and you do that repeatedly, then you will certainly be poor. And I want to treat poverty case in Africa and Nigeria from different perspectives. One is first personal, and then the other is the system. We are creating a system politically, because you can't talk about business enterprise without talking about pests. Political, economical, social, technological. Those are some tests, some analysis you subject a business to. So that's what those are some of the metrics that could tell what the viability of your business is. apart from SWOT analysis. So you see that the political climate goes a long way to also shaping the kind of ecosystem we have. So what is the government? Have they provided an enabling environment where prosperity really we are bound? If we tell ourselves the truth, you discover that we have men in authority right now. I call them wielders of power, not just leaders, because a leader, one of the function of a leader is that a leader unlocks the potential of others. How does it unlock the potential? Potential means possibilities. So a leader, when it comes into the equation, he helps you see the possibility in you. He helps you see the possibility in your environment. He helps you see how that you're untapping the resources even on your inside and also around you. So when the leader is not doing that, he's not helping you maximize the greatness in you. And when he's not doing that, he's helping you, he's keeping you bound, he's keeping you poor. So wielders of power, meaning that they just want to solve the power and they don't broker the resources to the people. And we can't overemphasize different case studies and all of that. So that aside, but I don't spend much time looking or blaming men in power. I come back to the person, the individual, because you are what you say you are. You are what you think you are. If you think there's scarcity around you, then there's scarcity. In this same economy, I don't know we're on there. In this same economy, I mean, I have yesterday's session, today's session, you hear techpreneurs, people making money in dollars, people, and you'll be wondering which world that these guys are, because they've been able to position their mind to think abundance. So the first thing is, can you deliver yourself from the thought pattern of you're in Africa, but can you think like you are not in Africa? In other words, I'm not saying don't be proud of where you are, but can you think like you are not you are alien to the things happening around you? Of course, I'm not saying that the conditions. I mean, look at dollar to naira exchange. Look at the fuel price. Everything is affecting you. But they say when the going gets tougher, the tough gets going. So you have to begin to reinvent ways to get yourself above all of those things happening around you. So what am I saying in essence? The mind. The mind is, are you thinking growth? Or are you thinking scarcity? Or do you see abundance around? Interestingly, Mrs. Victoria, when I speak to my friends in diasporas and all of the connects we have with meetings, board meetings all around the world, people keep saying that the best place to make money is in the third world countries. The best place to make money is in third world nations. The best place to make impact, the best place to make earnings. And then you'll be wondering, what are they saying? They know what they're saying. Opportunities are here. Because there are much problems. The problems here is telling us, can you provide solutions to me? Do you even know that even the government and all these guys, there are solutions you prefer, table it to the, set it, set the template to the table of the government, and they will buy into it and then fund that vision, fund that solution. But we just need to think outside the box, and then so it is first the people, think abundance, tap into the resources of you, think, grow your mind, wealth, think just like Charles has said, think about wealth question, be intelligent financially, and then, okay, you can now say, okay, my system, how can I help the system, or how can I be a part of the solution to this system? I don't know, it seems my time is up. I don't want to hold the floor for too long because I know we have many speakers. So, Mrs. Victoria.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. That part where the best place to third world country, it's the best place to make a lot of impact. Make a lot of impact. Really got me. And well, this we hope to make a lot of difference this evening with all these sessions that we have right now, right about now. So moving on to next speaker. Sorry, briefly. Okay. Meanwhile, you all can drop your questions. See, somebody have a question from Mr. Ademola, but we'll get to that very, very soon. Okay, so Mr. ABC, Mr. ABC, I don't. What do you? Okay, no, this is. I think this. Let us throw this to Mr. Abimbola. Mr. Bimbola, you're someone who have been able to impact young people with your skill. You know, I read your story one day on Instagram about how you started doing your memes around. You started doing your memes, you know, your kingdom memes, Christian memes, using passing messages in like in a funny way, but then people still get the gist. People still get the gist. So how do we? So what are the steps that young people need to take to position themselves strategically for impactful influence? I believe you have hundreds of thousands of people like always tuned into your content. So how do these young people, how can young people position themselves for impact the right way? Like we have tons of people, young people in this, but somehow like we've been able to told Mr. Ademola have talked about, Mr. Femi has also talked about some things, but let's hear your insight.
All right, thank you so much. Please, can you hear me? I'll be very short. All right, thank you so much. And thank you so much, Victoria and previous speakers.
Yes, sir.
First of all, positioning yourself for impact, you must first of all understand that you must be a person of value. It is people that are valuable that are impactful. Now, I classify value in 3 categories. I classify value number 1, there is low value, there is intermediate value, and there is high value. Now, if you want to be a person of impact, having positive impact in your generation, you must understand that you cannot follow the crowd to act in a very mediocre way. For example, I classified value in 3 categories. You see that there are a lot of junks on social media, there are a lot of junks in our society, and there are people that keep impacting one another negatively. You see a lot of things on social media. You go to Instagram, you see a lady twerking, you see a lady, or you see a guy making off money through cross-dressing. Now, in its sense, that is a negative value, but that is a very, very low value. So if you want to position yourself for impact, if you want to position yourself for influence, you must understand the need to be valuable. So that is something that is very paramount. See, many times we don't understand something I tag the theory of interconnectivity, which means that my destiny, the rising of my own destiny, is also dependent on the next person's destiny. If I don't rise, there is every possibility that the next person with me or around me might not rise. We have had instances whereby we create content and you see people come to meet us in our DMs and say, I almost committed suicide. I was depressed, but I saw you write this, I saw you do this, I saw you do that. And all of a sudden I was free, I was better. So many times we want to pursue wealth, we want to pursue finances, but wealth is secondary, value first. So by the time you begin to pursue value, by the time you begin to position yourself for impact and influence, it is very natural that the wealth will follow. When we started KM, the finances was not even there initially. But right now, we started KM 2018, December 28th. But right now, we earn in 6 figures just creating content for people. So you see people come to meet you and say, yes, we've seen your work. But it did not start immediately. It first started, we began to give people value. We began to add value to the lives of people. And we understood that there is a theory of interconnectivity, that if you don't rise, many times I might not rise as well. The reason why we are even online in the first place is that somebody invented something. Your invention is dependent on a generation. Or let me rephrase and say that your generation might necessarily be depending solely on an invention, solely on something that the Lord has deposited in us. So if we don't understand, see, many of us are very selfish. Many of us have a me mindset and not the global mindset. By the time we begin to think globally, that I think I have a value that can better the next person, then we begin to take our lives very seriously. So, in a nutshell, this is what we did, and we began to impact people, and we began to have the lot of followers that we have currently. Thank you very much, my Victoria. Over to you.
Thank you so much. That was short and very powerful, really. See, I hope everyone here is taking notes. Be a person of value. Don't be a person of value, right? Very important, super duper important. Okay, so in order not to like let's hear from Mr. ABC. Let's hear from Mr. ABC. So what's sorry, now with all this, you're someone who was able to migrate from you resigned from your job and then you started a business of your own. In fact, multiple businesses. You can call you a serial entrepreneur and all of that. So how can young people, what steps can a young person take in order to, we've talked about value, being a person of value, your mindset, start thinking globally, not having a survival mindset, not your money being, don't spend everything you have. So there are unemployment issues in the country, like all around. And the first thing a young person thinks, in fact, when they're in university, when they're thinking about our combatant, even till today, that we know that that is not the reality. So people are still thinking, when I graduate, I'll go and get a job. And then the cycle continues. So how do we solve this unemployment drama? Like, what can, irrespective of, we know that we're not talking about the government now, what the government would do. That's not even our concern. How do young people actually handle this unemployment challenge?
All right. Thank you so much, Victoria. I don't know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate all the speakers that have spoken before me. In fact, they've been amazing. Okay. First of all, everything starts with thinking, your thought pattern. You understand? My personality, I've been someone that has been able to do much with little. The previous speakers, they talked about maximizing. Yeah, I'm that kind of person that has done much with little all my life. And most of the things I've achieved today are because I've been, most of the times I've been motivated by fear. I have to say that I've been motivated by fear. And let me give you an example. Many years ago, I was into I had a laundry shop. So while I was doing the laundry business, I was very successful at it. So successful that even the owner of the place I rented or I was using for my shop became envious. You understand? And I already saw the envy, and I knew she was going to give me quick notice sooner or later to leave. And you know what I did? I told my customers to stop coming to my shop, that I'm now offering home service, free home service, that I can come to their house, pick up clothes, and take it back to them and everything. And I did that for a month until 99% of my customers stopped coming to my shop. So you see me having jobs, but you don't know where the jobs are coming from. And after 1 month, my landlady gave me quick notice and I packed out. I already had savings in place and I rented a bigger place. And when I moved, not one of my customers was lost. Not one. You understand? So from this story I just shared with you now, what can you see from this story? You see proactiveness. you see insight, you see the ability to think. You understand? The ability to think. People have jobs, and you have a job, and you see that the company is shaking, and you are still holding on to that job. Instead of you to start applying for other jobs, you think you will still have that job, and you see a lot of people during this bear market in crypto. Some of them, they lost their job. Your company is under lawsuits, and you are there, and you are not submitting CV elsewhere. You're not applying for jobs elsewhere. Now, you need to be proactive, especially in Africa. Okay, look at what is happening with the war, with the sound of war in African countries, Niger, and some other things. There's going to be a ripple effect. Now, if you are someone that thinks, you want to sit down and ask yourself questions. Okay, what can happen? What's the worst case scenario? What should I be doing now? How can I prepare myself? If this thing crosses from Niger and to Nigeria and is affecting our economy, which is already happening, our economy is being affected, how do I prepare myself? You start asking yourself questions. One of the things I learned earlier on in life, I learned that questions are the answers. Questions are the answers. Someone needs to write that down. Questions are the answers. The moment you start asking questions, that is when you start getting answers. If you don't ask questions, you won't get answers. So most of the time, you just need to sit down, divide yourself into two. One part of you is asking questions. The other part of you is answering the question. You understand? That is, in fact, the reason why I've been able to do much with the little I have is because most of the times in my life, I'm always asking questions. I'm always asking myself questions. I'm always asking people questions. When I moved into Lagos newly a few years ago, in fact, some people see me and they're like, they think I've been in Lagos all my life. They think I grew up in Lagos because of the things I'm doing, the resources I'm pulling. I'm just 2 years plus in Lagos. 2 years plus in Lagos. I've built a startup. In fact, I've built like 4 businesses, doing well, not just. And I remember when I was leaving Warri, coming to Lagos, I shut down all my businesses in Warri, and coming to Lagos, I had to start all over again, and so on and so forth. And because I always ask questions, I'm this proactive person. When things happen around me, I ask questions and I tend to see where things are going to. So in order for you to succeed, the first thing you need to know, in order for you to be prepared financially, especially in Africa, is to be a person of questions. You cannot dodge that. And another thing again is to be a person of diligence. All right. Every day we learn, okay, but we need to also practice what we've learned. A lot of things that have been said here, for most of us, we've had them before. Most of the people in this audience now, they've had all this financial stuff. Like some of them, it might not be all of them, but they've had all these things before. But what have you done with it? What have you done with it? The people doing well today, they might not really be a very large knowledge gap between you and them, but one thing that separates them from you, separates you from them, the reason why the spotlight is on them and not you, is because they have been diligent. It's because they are consistent. It's because they already have a roadmap. They know what they are doing. But for you, this one is trending, you want to jump into it. This one is trending like AI now. Everybody's jumping into AI. Even people that don't feel like doing AI, they just want to do it because people are doing it. You understand? And one thing I've learned is that leaders don't trend. Leaders are valuable. Leaders don't trend. Leaders are valuable. You understand? I was listening to one of the prominent guys in real estate. He said many years ago, he was wearing caverns on Agbada. He started wearing caverns on Agbada. And he said the reason why he was doing that was not because he was trying to look stupid, but the reason he was doing that was because he was trying to set an example and prove to people that you can be unique, and what others see as stupid, if you do it long enough and you're valuable with it, people will tend to follow you. And today you see people wearing caverns on Agbada. It's not a normal thing. You do it now, people don't look at you and think that is this person normal. People not do it. So be proactive. Ask yourself questions. Be consistent. Consistency is key. A lot of people don't know this. Consistency is key. Take for instance, I myself, I'm into real estate. At every point in time, they're talking about finance. At every point in time in my life, I'm always paying for property. In fact, I have people on my team, they go and search for deals, good deals for me. And when they go search for those deals, they come to me and say, sir, we have this property in Lekki, we have this stuff in Orchid, we have this place in Ekpe, we have this place in Ibejuleki. I'll go through it and I'll analyze it with what I've learned financially and everything. And from there, I start to invest. But when I started, I had to pay for a land of 1 million naira. I had to pay for a land of 1 million naira 7 times. 7 times I had to pay for a land of 1 million. You understand? But consistency. Now we've gone past that level, but we are consistent. We've been doing it for 2 years. We've been doing it for 3 years. We have been consistent. You understand? And now the kind of property we have, there's some people who have been in this Lagos all their life. They don't even have up to that. You understand? But not to boast. The point I'm trying to make is that whatever you're doing, start small and have the big picture in mind. You understand? The reason why Jesus stood out in the Bible is because before he even does a thing, he already knows like the outcome. He has sat down, he has counted the cost and everything. You understand? I've seen people with no educational background, nothing, doing business, and they are doing turnovers in millions. And these people, they just apply simple principles, simple financial principles, like savings. A lot of people don't know how to save in Africa. Most people in Africa. I've seen someone that this person has money, makes like 700,000 to a million naira every month. But this guy will still come and beg me for urgent 5K. And I will tell him, save. Sometimes he does business with me. I pay him 400,000. It's his money. But after like 1 week, he will come. And he's like, please teach me how to save. I'm like, oh yes, Sakma don't do you. All the friends you follow and spend money, they've left you. Can't you just wake up one day and just learn your lesson? You understand? Then this is where association now comes in. You understand? Another thing you need to know is that the people you associate yourself with matters a lot. There are some changes you want to make. If you don't change your association, you cannot. I don't have friends. Sometimes I can be at home 3 months, 4 months. Nobody has come to the house. I don't have friends because I understand that I'm this kind of person. I'm easily influenced. So I tend to protect my space with my life. I protect my space with my life. So the people that are in my circle are people I want to be in my circle. Now let me give you an example. A few weeks ago, I went far west, those Yoruba villages like that. And I'm not a Yoruba person, but when I went there, the way I was dressed, and I followed one of the pastors in our church for the burial ceremony. And while I was there, someone walked up to me and called me and said that I'm to take the Bible reading. And I took the Bible reading, of course, and after everything, they came and thanked me, and the man was like, Pastor sir, what's your name? I said, I'm not the pastor. He said, no, from today I'm going to call you Pastor Wale. You understand? Now, from that day, he started calling me Pastor Wale. He started calling me Pastor Wale. Now, the point is that the reason why I was called Pastor Wale was because I followed the pastor to an event. By association. If you move with CEOs that does 7 figures, 8 figures, it's only going to take time before you start doing 8 figures, 7 figures. You understand? You don't need to, as in, you don't need to like sit down on your own and be trying to analyze. You get, just just change your association. Protect your space. Oh God, I don't know how I can overemphasize this. Protect your space. Protect your space with your life. Protect your circle with your life. The people that are in your circle should be the people for them to be in your circle. It's very important. You can't really go far in life if you don't protect your space. Now, I'm going to round up with these. There are 3 people that are supposed to be in your life. Write this down. There are 3 people that are supposed to be in your life. If you don't have these 3 people in your life, you will hardly go far. Financially, you will hardly go far. Number one, you're supposed to have a mentor. You're supposed to have a mentor. Number 2, you're supposed to have a coach. Number 3, you're supposed to have a sponsor. You're supposed to have a sponsor. Now let me break it down for you. Let me explain. A lot of people, they confuse a mentor for coach. They confuse mentor for sponsors. Right? I'm rounding up. Mentors are people who know you well enough not to leave you the way you are. They are always constantly pushing you. They are constantly making sure that you grow. All right. How myself, I have a mentor. Right. Then the next category is a coach. A coach. A coach is someone that you are accountable to. You understand? Before I make any financial decisions, there are people I call as little as 20,000 naira. I make calls. As little as 20K. I call, sir, this is what I want to do. Should I do it? Should I do it? And they give go ahead. A lot of us, we don't have coach. A lot of us, we confuse our mentors for coach. No matter how, Elon Musk has a coach. You understand? Venture capitalists that you see, that they invest in startups, they have their own coaches. Now, the third category is sponsors. Sponsors are people that mention your name in the place of opportunities. Where there are opportunities, they call your name. When one of the speakers talked about opportunities, right? Sponsors are the people that make opportunities come to you. You know, there are 2 categories of people. There are people that pursue opportunities. You understand? But sponsors are people that make opportunities come to you. Now, I'm going to round up with these. If you prepare yourself well enough, write it down, and personalize it. If I prepare myself for opportunity will always come to me. So don't pursue opportunities. Stay where you are, position rightly, and prepare yourself for it. You want to go online, you're trying to grow your social media page, battling up and down, posting. Why don't you sit down and give value? Thank you so much, guys, for the opportunity. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Victoria. And I believe I've been able to impact someone this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wisdom. Wow, that was law. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was super impactful. Trust me, it was. I hope you guys are taking note too. Very important. This thing, we shall not leave the same way we came for this evening. All right. So in order to, we have like a few more minutes, and then we'll come to a close. We're going to take a few questions. So somebody asked, this question I want to ask now is in line with what somebody asked here a bit. So Mr. Demola, I thought Mr. Demola, I think I just have like a couple of questions for, okay, we've not heard from Mr. Olakunle. Mr. Olakunle, okay, let me get to you first, and then we just close office with final comments, final value, and all of that. Mr. Olakunle, thank you so much for joining us this evening once again. So someone asked the question, right? And it's very in line with what I have here. What advice would you offer to individuals? Sorry, how can individuals enhance their skills and knowledge in order to contribute to this whole eradicating poverty in quotes. Now, this person in the comment section also asked, a lot of people have the ability to learn, but they cannot afford the learning. How can they access courses for free? I have a personal answer to this question, but then we have you all here. I'm also here to learn from you. So, Mr. Lakpile, share with us, how can someone who has the ability to learn but can't afford the courses that would move them from that will enhance their skills and knowledge in order to contribute to this poverty eradication we're talking about in Africa?
All right. Thank you so much, Victoria, and thanks to the whole team. I like the question. How can you learn if you have the willingness to learn without paying? I would say you are born at the right point. Being on earth at this time, it's a great opportunity for you. If this question was asked in the 90s, then it might be it's impossible. But right now in the world that we are in, I would say you can attain a professorship kind of knowledge without paying a dime, right? Because the learning opportunity is massive and is right there with you. Earlier on, Victoria talked about ChatGPT. ChatGPT has been built. You need to understand the AI has been built with information from every nook and cranny of this world, right? And you can ask it any question in any field. You can ask it to explain it to you in any format that you want. Like you can say, oh, ChatGPT, I want you to teach me this particular topic in using King James language. You can say, teach me in a layman, as if you are teaching a baby, right? In whatever model that you want to learn it, this is available. Then there is Bard, the Google Bard. You can also do the same thing, learn from all these AI solutions, AI platform, any skill set that you want to have, right? In whatever field. All this is available massively. Now, you now have a lot of edutech companies coming up. Edutech companies, you have Udemy, you have Coursera, you have Alt School, teaching different skills. And each of these platforms have free modules, right? There's EDX. I love EDX a lot. With EDX, you take Harvard courses, you take Berkeley courses, you take Yale courses, all for free in whatever field that you want to take part in. And all these avenues are right there with you. Right now, leveraging on technology, there is practically no textbook or no motivational book that is older than 1 year that you cannot get the PDF copy online for free. So the resources is now available. Oh, this all the example I'm even giving is books. What if it's video learning that you want? You can go on YouTube and spend hours consuming courses, watching people, how they do things, improving and growing yourself. All these avenues are now available. So in actual fact, you don't need to pay, right? Now, beyond this, there are a lot of webinars. Different organizations are organizing webinars targeted at your segments, right? What do you want to learn? You want to learn how to build technology, or you want to learn how to build AI. Microsoft, in fact, just today, Calendly sent me an invite, MongoDB sent me an invite, Google Cloud sent me an invite, teaching on how to build with AI, how to leverage AI on the platform. All these courses, all these webinars, free. And all these opportunities are out there, are available. So what you really need is for you to really take that interest, right? And then engage with key partners that provide this ability. So like I said, Google sent me an invite. I said Coursera sent me an invite. How did all these people send me an invite into my email? Because I signed up on their platform, I subscribe to some services that they provide, or I'm following them online on social media. As such, when these opportunities are available, the opportunities are coming directly to me so that you can improve. So you as a learner, you're interested in learning, first, you can go to ChatGPT, like I said, go to Google Bard, go to all these online courses, right? Go to YouTube, but also identify who are the key players in that segment you want to learn about. Who are the major players there? How can I join up with all these teams, right? How can I follow them on LinkedIn? How can I reach out to an MD there? How can I make sure that they are sending me their newsletters? And once you are in those connections, in those relationships, you will keep getting opportunities to learn from each of these platforms on any skills I'm talking about. So I'm not just talking about technology skills, even baking, how to cook, right? You just need to identify who are the thought leaders in this area and ensure you engage with them, follow them, join their newsletters, and they will provide trainings for you, even sales. I follow Paul Fo on social media. I've joined this link, and almost on a daily basis, he's sending snippets and tidbits on how to grow, how to do well as a salesperson, how to grow your sales channels, how to grow your business sales in whatever model you want. All these opportunities and all these avenues are right there, and they are available. Right now, talking about physical courses, physical engagement, you want partnership. There are also different opportunities for you to learn, gain mentorship directly from people. Just yesterday, I was in an engagement or a program, just watching a friend of mine, Feladro Toye, was organizing a leadership training for 4 days, all free. This is direct engagement with these thought leaders. So all these avenues are available. You don't have to pay for it. All right. In fact, I would say payment or paying maybe for certifications. Yes, if you have to get certifications, you might need to pay. But beyond looking for certifications, there are a lot of knowledge that are available that you can learn without paying a dime. I myself, about some 10 years ago, I learned website building. I learned HTML design, CSS design. I learned all those skills 10 years ago without even talking to someone. I just went online, got a textbook, and I followed through, and I was able to learn. So these opportunities, these avenues are available. Also, there are also opportunities for you to even learn in organization. So you are not just learning a textbook, you want to learn the practical. There are organizations that are available, right? In fact, quickly, Old School running a program on Twitter for interns, whereby you apply to be an intern, and they will try as much as possible to pair you with organizations that will even pay you, right? So those things you read in the textbook, you come and practice it or learn with them as interns, because as interns, it's not expected that you have expertise on it. You just have some basic knowledge, and they give you opportunity to learn on the job. So all these opportunities are available. How do you get it? First of all, you need to set your mind, be determined for yourself. You need to be determined that, I want to acquire these skills, right? Then you need to follow the thought leaders in that space, the organizations that are driving that space. We're talking AI now. We're talking AI. ChatGPT is huge there, right? Then you need to, like I said, follow the thought leaders, go out there and engage with social media, with ChatGPT, YouTube, all these various channels, take courses, all right? LinkedIn have free courses. In fact, the LinkedIn course, LinkedIn Premium, you even get the 30 days free plan, free learning. In that 30 days, you can take up to 4 or 5 certifications. Those certifications go for as high as thousands of dollars. With that 1 month free period, you just need to be dedicated into it and go out there, acquire the skills, improve yourself. All right. Now, all the skills that you have learned, you want to put them to work, look out for internship. All right. Another thing, there's a lot of small businesses that we have in Nigeria that cannot pay the market price for experienced hires to provide them some very valuable skills. But you, as a new learner, as an intern, why don't you identify small businesses and do some work for them, right? With small businesses, yes, they might not be able to pay you huge, but with small businesses, you are able to improve and grow yourself. Because yes, all of us want to get the $200,000 paying job, the 1 million naira job, right? But you need to have portfolios, right? Particularly if you're in tech, you need to have portfolios of work that you do. Why don't you look for small businesses that you can work with, right? help them build their website, help them do embed some APIs onto their platform, help them with their services, help them do graphics and so on and so forth. As you provide those services, even if it is free or with a little pay, you are building your portfolio. You are building your portfolio. And when you go for the big gig, you're no longer going as someone who is just learning. You are now going as an experienced hire, because you've acquired the skills. You have, in addition to acquire the skills, you have practicalized and grow yourself with practice, working with some small level of organization. And from there, really, the sky cannot even be your limit, right? It's just a stepping stone. You have a lot of things that you can achieve. And that's why I would charge you, right? How can you learn? The opportunities are out there. Leverage on it. Thank you very much, Victoria. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olakunle. Like, it was more like you took it out of my head and you just said everything. See, there was when I left school in 2016, and when I left school in 2016, it dawned on me that we have the internet. If you have a smartphone, I believe most of you here, in fact, everybody here joined this stream, this live session with a smartphone. If you have a smartphone, you have data, you have internet access. You should not see yourself as a disadvantaged person, because it means that you have access to everything that he talked about. There are so many free resources, and if you're in Valley Corp, if you're in our community, you will know that I'm always sharing one thing or the other on our YouTube channel. I'm always pointing out one thing or the other. I'm always sharing information. But then it's a place of we have to learn to live that survival mindset in our head, thinking we are disadvantaged. We are not. You are not disadvantaged. All you need to do is know where to look and then apply them. Because usually there are two kinds of people that I've encountered. People that stay and say, oh, there are no opportunities. We are suffering. Things are going bad, going south. And there's another category of persons that they consume a lot, but they never give value. They never practice. So the best thing, like he shared with us, is you learn. Do you know that when I started this whole my whole online journey way back in 2016 after school, there were paid classes. I couldn't afford them. I couldn't afford these paid classes. But what did I do? I looked around, like, there are so many free platforms. I got so many, there were free websites that were offering certification courses. I took them. And also I started learning my digital marketing, project management, and all of those. To start learning at those free platforms. I told myself, these ones are paid. That's fine. But there are free platforms I can start with until I can afford the paid ones. So you've not looked. If you say you've not seen, it means that you've not really looked. Because YouTube is staring at us. We are streaming it from YouTube right from here. But we prefer to watch movie. Please stop watching movie and learn what to benefit you. Thank you so much, Mr. Lakule, for that sharing that powerful insight with us. And I'm going to give all of us, the speakers, to share one thing that you want us to go home with. I think starting with Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles, maybe you can just, as you're giving us the final word and all of that, just someone mentioned about sharing platforms you can recommend for us to invest apart from learning skills online. And then somebody said if you are in a business and you are still at break even, how can you maximize profit and finally launch for growth? So maybe person asking you specifically, Mr. Charles. So maybe you can touch this and then give us your final nuggets for the evening. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Can we hear me? Good evening once again. Okay. All right. Somebody has a question. Let me start by this. Let me quickly say this, please. The person that was asking about free course, where he or she can take free course, you can reach out to me after this program. I would like to sponsor your internet data for the next 3 months. Thank you. So that is by the way. Then secondly, somebody had a question the other time. asking what can they invest in and what platform can they through which platform can they invest. I will answer the first question. Sorry, I can't actually promote a platform through which you can invest because I do not know the I don't want to use Miss Victoria's platform to promote somebody else's platform, but I can recommend what you can invest in, right? I've been a tech entrepreneur for few time now, and I've been a software engineer for quite a number of years. So if you are to invest in tech, in any tech organization stock, I will advise that you invest in a company that also produce hardware. Example of such companies are Microsoft and Apple. You have Tesla as well. That's my own personal advice. This is not a financial advice, but it's personally my advice. I often advise people that want to invest in tech to invest in companies that also produce hardware. Why? Because it is very, very difficult for you to see that their stock take a dive because hardware are always being sold. In fact, the demand is often higher and it resonates with their stock as well. So you can invest in a tech company that actually produce hardware. And again, you can invest in agricultural companies. You can actually see. I think for that, I will advise you your location should be focused on Singapore. Singapore is a country that has advanced agricultural sector, so their companies are very, very doing well in Singapore. So you can actually focus on that country and pick an agri company to invest in if they are selling their stock publicly. So I actually make mention of this financial concept, investment and stock. The reason is because you can hardly make any global impact or any impact at all in this current dispensation without money. It is going to be very, very hard. And how can you be a person of value if you do not have the financial wherewithal, right? So it is very, very, very important. And it's very important, and it's very important to start doing it as early as possible. Many of us, many persons start getting to know about stock now. Some persons are lucky enough to know about it some years ago, and the benefits are there for them today. So and I chose a hardware focused company because they are low risk. I think I also need to mention that. So, Mrs. Victoria, please can you come again with the last question from the last person before I drop my final nuggets?
Okay, sir. Okay, so the last person said, okay, I think you've answered. Apart from, the person said, apart from rice vest and bamboo, are there bit sizes that are affordable for small earners?
Uh,
I mean, like where to invest, affordable for small earners.
okay, is the person talking about? I don't know if the person is talking about platform through which they can invest or the stock into what they can invest. If it's about platform through which you can invest, there are so many platforms out there. I'm trying to refrain myself from mentioning or
Yes, yes, I
promoting.
believe so. I believe so.
I'm trying to refrain myself from mentioning or
Affordable
promoting
for small earners.
particular platform to the other. But for small earners, I think Google actually allow you to buy their stock for as low as you can buy as low as $5 or $6, right? So I will actually recommend Google as well. You can buy Google stocks as well. I do not know about Apple. I think Apple is quite on the high side, and Microsoft as well. But Google is actually, they allow you to actually purchase their stock in bits. So you can look into that. So okay, basically that is it. So my final nuggets tonight is going to be this. It is never too late for you to start making
informed decision with this financial concept that I've mentioned tonight. See, I am very sure that some of you have heard this thing prior to tonight, but when you look at the so many economic turmoil that is going around today, not only peculiar to Nigeria, is everywhere. I can tell you for sure that some persons are not feeling it, not because they are working harder than you or working harder than some person, but simply because they have invested in some things that it will continue to yield. Right, and they did it very, very early, and today the profits are all there. So you can actually start, just take anything, take take pick any platform of your choice and study that platform up. I've recommended what you can invest in: a hardware producing company like Apple or Microsoft, or an agri company, and you start seeing the dividends in few months time, and in few years time you see the dividends of all these things. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. Um, Over to you, Mr. Femi. What's your last nugget for us? Uh, Dara,
Uh,
I like the question. What's the last nugget for us this evening that we're going to go back and start pondering over?
all right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me and all the other speakers once again. I want to say that impact is deliberate. All right. So my last word for everyone there is impact. Be deliberate about the impact you want to make, be it on a personal, professional level. Be deliberate about, be intentional about it. Give intentionality to everything. Give intentionality to your learning. Give intentionality to the resources you need to get, to get you to where you want to go. Give intentionality to the sacrifices you pay. Give intentionality to everything you've read there and how to apply it, because the doing part is actually the missing gap, the missing link. So be a doer. The noise are much. The noises, the echoes, put them all out and then stay with the voice. So be deliberate about the impact, about the signal, because you shouldn't become great and be surprised. Oh, it shocked me. Oh, no. It's deliberate. You know the preparatory phase. You know what you need to give in, what you need to give up, for you to go up. All right. So be deliberate about all of the things you need to do to get you to where you are destined for. All right. So be deliberate about the impact, be deliberate about the sacrifice, be deliberate about the resource, be deliberate about the relationship, the association, everything you need for you to get to that point. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for having me, Mrs. Victoria.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Be deliberate. That's very, very powerful. As simple as that sounds, but it's super duper important. Success does not happen to anybody by chance. You have to be deliberate. You have to be very intentional. Thank you so much, PFEMs, for that. So over to you, Mr. Ebise. Your last words for us, and then maybe in that line of thought, just answer this one last question from Dara. She said, in a business where you are still at a break even, how can one maximize profit and finally launch for growth? At least you have plenty stuff like you're doing right now. Um, how can you break even how can you, in a business where you are still at break even, how can you maximize profit and finally launch for growth?
All right, thank you so much. Okay, first of all, I'll start by answering that question. Let me just give you a short story. Probably you could pick one or two from there. I like using myself as an example. Okay, so several years ago, I was into laundry and I was doing well. Then I was making like 150K every month. But then there was one time I sat down, I was like, if I'm to get married now and I have like 4 children, will this 150K be enough to pay their school fees and take care of the family? Of course, I said questions are the answers. So I sat down and I said, even though I'm doing well, making 150K, it will not be enough to take care of me and my kids. If then I was not married though, but I was just asking myself questions. And when my answer became no, I sat down and I was able to break out 7 streams of income from laundry. 7. Now I'm going to list some of them. The first thing I do was that I started creating content on how to do your laundry if you want to do it by yourself. So I created content on people that want to do their laundry by themselves, and I created a mini book and I started selling it. That became another stream of income. And another thing again is that I started going to schools. I started going to schools to teach neatness. So I go to schools, I meet the school proprietors or the owner of the school. I told them, this is what I do. I teach cleanliness and neatness. And before you know it, I started going to schools and I started teaching neatness. And schools, when I go, I teach, they pay me. They pay me. You understand? From there, I was getting customers. Parents became my customers. They started patronizing me, giving me clothes to dry clean. So my income again increased from 150,000. I already had income selling the mini book I wrote, and I had income again teaching cleanliness and neatness to students, right? So this is just 3 of the 7. The other 4, I won't say them here, but I believe you've got the message. The reason why I don't want to say them is because I intend monetizing them in the future. Fantastic ideas I had because I was able to sit down to think. All right. So if you want to increase your income stream in whatever you're doing, it all boils down to sitting down and think. All right. There are people in other industries that are doing well. You can pick what they're doing in their own sphere and add it to your own industry and come up with something fantastic, right? So me, I was not an author, but then I was able to at least attend seminars, writing seminars, writing coaching programs, and I learned how to write, and I was able to come up with that mini book where I break it down step by step on how people can do their own laundry. I sold it to dry cleaners, I sold it to parents, I sold it to individuals, and I made money from it, from ebooks. So if you look at your society today, how many laundry owners really have their books or really are selling their ideas on books, on materials? Not so many. So you must be able to think outside the box. That's the bottom line. You must be able to think outside the box. So I believe I've been able to answer your question. Then my final thoughts are this. The distance, I think you might want to write this down. The distance between you and success is not a shortcut. The distance between you and success is not a shortcut. The distance between you and your success is a straight line. Is a straight line. Look for that straight line and run with it, and run on that straight line, and you see that you get to where you want to be, the future you want to be, you get there in a hurry, right? So whatever you're doing, whatever industry you find yourself, whatever business you find yourself, look for that straight line and follow it. Don't let what is trending distract you. People are in this place, they are making millions. Don't let it distract you. In fact, most investors, you see Warren Buffett, the greatest investor, go and check most of his investments in a year. Most of his investment, they don't even do much. They can just do like 10%, 15%. But over the years, the cumulative returns, massive. That's how he became a billionaire. So the little results you keep getting, they keep accumulating. You keep getting. Be content with it. Stay on your lane. Stay on your straight line. Stay on your straight line. Stay on your straight line. Don't go to someone else's straight line. Stay on your straight line. Because if you stay on your straight line, you will see that before you know it, you've gotten to your success, right? And I also want to emphasize on the part where I said you need a mentor, you need a coach, and you need a sponsor. These three things are totally different. Although a lot of people confuse mentors for sponsors, so they have mentors today and they go and ask their mentor for money. Your mentor is not supposed to give you money. It is your sponsors that are supposed to give you money, right? Your coach is not supposed to give you money, right? You are not supposed to be accountable in quotes to your sponsor. You're supposed to be accountable to your coach. For accountability, you meet your coach. Before you make any financial decision, you meet your financial coach, right? You want to change your diet, for instance, you meet your diet coach, right? So all these things are very important, and I want you guys to pay attention to it. There is little success you will be able to make, and even if you make success at all, it will definitely come down crashing if you don't have these three people in your life: mentor, sponsors, and coaches. Thank you so much, Victoria, for the opportunity. Thank you so much, everyone, every other speaker on the platform. Thank you so much, the audience, for being part of this wonderful event. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wisdom. Like, wow, thank you so much. We really super duper appreciate. Just in order to just wrap it up, Mr. Roberts, you can share with us your last nuggets of wisdom to cap it off for the night, and then after you, Mr. Lakunle, and we'll close shop for this evening.
All right, thank you so much for the privilege. Ma'am Victoria, you're really doing a good job. Thank you very, very much. All right, one of the things I would love to say is this. On your quest of adding value to yourself, one of the things we need to do as people is to research. All right, research and educate yourself. See, the gulf between you and expertise is research. I hope somebody will write that down. The gulf between you and expertise is research. You see, value is in seed form, but until it is planted, that is when you will see the magnificence of it. So many of you, you have value deposited inside you. You have a lot of potentials, but you're not learned to plant the seed of your value. Nobody sees the mango seed and appreciate it. Nobody sees an orange seed on a sitting on a table and appreciate it. It is when it is planted and watered that the magnificence begins to reveal itself to people. So you have value inside of you. So you've got to plant it. And one of the ways to do that is research, educate yourself. I was invited to a webinar and I told some people, I said, see, educational materials are like keys that unlocks minds of libraries and wisdom inside you. That is exactly what education does. And number two, I have an advice for people that want to start something. I'm very sure some of you listening to me today, you have big dreams. You have big dreams, and you think beyond the average. My advice for you is this. I want to teach you something about the wisdom of thrones. Are you with me? See, nations are not just nations. What makes a nation powerful are the companies within its borders. When you talk about United States of America, one of the companies you mentioned is Tesla. You mentioned Facebook. You mentioned Amazon, because these companies contribute heavily to their GDP. So if you crumble the companies in this nation, you have crumbled the economy of that nation. So what am I saying to you is that, see, start small. Do not be discouraged. Are you with me? Start little, then scale up. You can start bootstrapping. Scale up. And before you know it, you become a giant and a powerhouse in your nation. So I just want to wrap up by saying, by advising you guys that are starting companies, please do not be discouraged. Start. You are on the pathway of becoming a powerhouse in your nation. And as I said, don't forget to add value to yourself. Research is important. And I said again, and I hope you wrote that down, that the gulf between you and expertise is research. Thank you so much, Ms. Victoria. I appreciate all the speakers. Thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Bimbola. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us. Thank you. Really, thank you. The gulf between you and expertise is research. Now they hear and back. All right. So finally, Mr. Olakunle, Mr. Olakunle, just share your doses of value with us. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. So I will just put it this way. The most critical thing that you can do right now, either for yourself as an individual or as a business, is stock taking. Whatever vision you want to achieve in the nearest future, if you don't know where you are right now, it will be a very, very difficult thing. So the first thing you should do, the takeaway is, first of all, access where am I right now? Take notes, take stock, right? Then where do I want to be? Where do I want to be? What are the vision? Where do I see myself? And between that, where you are and where you want to be, what are the steps I need to take? What are the things I need to do? Same thing for your business also. Where am I in my business now? How much are we making? How much are we losing? Right? What are we spending money on? Take note wherever before you can actually grow. If you don't know where you are right now, you cannot make tangible progress. And even if you are making progress, you will be unable to determine what level of progress is or if you are really making progress. All right. So either in your personal life, either in your business, where am I right now? Either is in your finances, where am I right now? How much am I making? What am I spending this money on? Where do I want to be? How do I go there? You want to become a millionaire? You want to become a billionaire? You want to start earning in dollars? How you do that is, where are you right now? What are the resources you have right now? Where do you want to be? And then what are the things that you need to do? And unfortunately, what we have seen in Nigeria is that we don't like keeping records. We don't like this self-assessment. We don't like this business positioning. We are scared to know where we really are. I will be surprised. I won't be surprised if I ask everybody, what is your total assets? What's your total ability? Right? We all are unable to put that to paper. We all are unable to say that. But if you don't know where you are right now, I can tell you that vision of becoming a millionaire, a billionaire in the future would only just be a dream. All right. But until you take note, oh, this is my financial resources right now. This is how much I'm earning. Then these are the skill sets that I have. Then you have to then ask yourself, to become a billionaire, what other skills do I need to grow? How much more revenue do I need to generate? How can I save my money? How can I leverage on compound interest? How can I how can I leverage on investments? Right? What knowledge do I need to acquire? But if you have not taken proper stock of where you are right now, we will come back again next year, next month, and it's going to be the same thing over and over again. So my charge to everybody is, take stock. Take stock. Where are you right now? What do you need to do to get to where you want to be? And as you have that, and that stock taking has to be documented. It has to be written down, right? Write the vision, make it plain, so that all that sees it will run with it. Until that vision is written and is plain, it is just an imagination. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. You see, this last point really, it's like, see, it gives so much value to me. Stock taking. If you don't know where you are right now, you won't be able to get to that that you actually want to get to. So, and this is something that we really take advantage of. Tell yourself the truth. Sit down. Where am I right now? And take notes. Take notes. Let's start taking notes. Start taking record, keeping records. Because the only way, the speaker from yesterday also said something about documenting your process, documenting your progress. That's the only way you'll be able to tell yourself that, oh, I'm making progress. Oh, I'm not making progress. Oh, this is what I need to fix. This is what I need to change. Because sometimes we keep repeating the same circle over and over again just because of what we are not doing stock taking. Thank you so much, Mr. Lakunle. Thank Thank you so much, Mr. Wisdom. Thank you so much, Mr. Charles, Mr. Robert, and Mr. Femi. Thank you so much. We really deeply appreciate you, all of you. Thank you so much for sharing your insight, your time with us. Time is so precious, and you brought out that time to share with us. We are super grateful, and we are all going back to the drawing board. So this is a charge to remind us that we have a 45 days challenge. We learned a lot last year. I say last year, sorry, yesterday, and we learned a lot today. So we're going to do a 45 days challenge from tomorrow, so that we can see how much of this we have to have accountability partners and all of those things, so that we'll make sure that one or two of this, all of these things that we've learned this past 2 days would actually yield results. So every one of you, let's meet in our community. Valicop is here to teach you how to move from your point A to point B. And that's why we brought these amazing speakers to actually share with you that these things are possible. You need to follow principles. Like one of our speakers said, following the straight line. There's no shortcuts. You have to follow the straight line to that particular dream that you have. And thank you so much, Mr. Charles, for that giveaway. I think it was, what's his name? Steve Jobs that say, if you don't ask, you won't get. So he spoke, and then Mr. Charles was it's here to give him 3 months later. Thank you so much, sir, for that. We really, really appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. So it's at this point that we bring these 2 days to a close. Don't forget to check out our platform at www.valicopglobal.com. valicopglobal.com. Thank you so much. And see you in the community as you continue to learn. We're going to continue sharing value with us, continue sharing opportunities with us. Those of you that are taking your courses, make sure you take your courses. Make sure if you have questions, I'm in my DM. We have our YouTube channel, we have our social media handles, we have everything, all the resources available for you to access. So thank you so much, everybody, and have a good night. Thank you.